We're going to be looking at it from the angle of criticism, self-criticism, and abandonment of self, and the pain and the hurt and the suffering that causes. And what I want us to look at is to go into the energy of this, because I know everybody at some stage beats themselves up. And this was once one of the biggest wounds that I ever had to overcome. I didn't, and when you allow it to go to the depth of what it gets to, it's not just criticizing yourself, it becomes a self-hatred and a self-loathing. And we see lots of people out there in society like this, where they continually have this internal dialogue going on, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, that word, God, I can't even say it now, where it just manifests, and they get people in the external world that are criticizing them also, or abandoning them. Because one of the things that comes up with the energy of criticism, or comes up with this energy, criticism is used to undermine your self-love, and it creates separation through the emotions of hurt and abandonment. You feel alone, you feel separate. It's like it's not worthy. You're not worthy of being loved. You're not good enough. All those kinds of emotions that tend to come up is the energy of criticism, self-criticism, where it shows up in your life, where you sabotage the good that you're wanting to create because of this internal dialogue that may have been imprinted in you in a young age. And it's not yours, and it's not who you are, yet you let it. It's just like an undercurrent, like this torrent of water that is running underneath the surface, which is causing suffering to you. So one of the things that we know about the energy of this criticism and abandonment, and that it defends itself through the energy and the constructs of justification. It justifies why this happened, or it's constantly justifying, if this had happened, then this would have happened. And we see it all the time. And if that doesn't defend yourself, or you don't defend yourself enough through this, then you'll tend to go into attacking the other people, where you are projecting negativity onto them, and there will be anything from a slight frustration through to an anger, through to a hatred, through to venomous, just blah. Experience the whole lot. And I tell you, it is not pleasant. It is very draining, and it fills you with so much acid inside of your body. It's not good for your nervous system. So to be aware of this is one thing. And one of the things that I want you to just think about is every time that you have those self-criticisms, or that self-loathing, or that not good enough, and you have that abandonment from self, from love, you are strengthening a neurological pathway, which is making it build it stronger and stronger. So it's not necessarily easy just to come across and feel good, because that pathway is so strong. It's been running this undercurrent for your whole life. And when you start finding it comes up and gets pointed up into your consciousness, you will find a reason for not wanting to let it go is because of the reason of loss. you're not wanting the loss. And so, because none of us want to lose, none of us want to lose anything. We don't want to lose it. So, to give it up means there is a loss. And it takes courage and a certain amount of commitment and focus to walk into this criticism and realize you need to step through the loss, because the loss triggers the abandonment. And so it's an intricate little darling that we try to untangle. So, but the loss, what it does, what this energy does, what this self-criticism does, it gets down and it gets into the kidneys and it gets down into your liver and it gets down into your, the other place it goes to is the pancreas, and it sits down in and it becomes a sediment in there. And it's one of the things that can also help you hold weight because of this fear of letting it go. And then what you do, if you're carrying extra weight, what do? You criticize yourself. And so the cycle continues. And so one of the things that we look at, you go, okay, so how do we untangle this? It's the abandonment. For you to be in the safe place, you must abandon the critical spot. So you must let one go to move into the other. And you think you would just logically, because of course I want to be in self-love and I don't want to be in this pain. Yet that pain is so familiar. That criticism, self-criticism is so familiar, it is just unconscious that you constantly keep playing it. That abandonment is so deep in us that it makes it so hard to let go. So one of the things that we need to do is we need to find the acceptance and joy within and be caring for self. So one of the things I can actually help you do here today is actually go into those parts of your place where you find the criticism comes up and where you find the anger and the rage and the dialogue that comes. And it can also be an external criticism. That'll tend to show you that it's getting brought to the surface and getting put in your face. So when it comes to finding the criticism, what is it that you're actually saying to yourself? What is it that you believe to be true? What is the hurt that is there for you? That hurt, that pain, that wishing that you were something else than what you are. And we get to the stage where people just wish they would die, or they would, just not be around this anymore. And they destroy their they destroy all the love that they have around them. They just sabotage it. And so it's a matter of allowing yourself to connect with yourself, with the light in you. And as we do, you allow yourself to usually do this when you're in not a bad space. And then you go and walk into the criticism. You walk into the dialogue that is running, because it'll just be running automatically. It's like a TV program that's just on repeat and it just keeps playing. And you allow yourself to be willing to give up and lose that dialogue. Now, we do not use our willpower to do it, because that would be futile. That would be, that's our own weak personal energy. Yet when we use our will, we use the divine source, a much higher vibration that comes in. And we just allow ourselves to be willing to face that abandonment, to face that criticism. to face that pain and suffering and hurt and grief and guilt and shame and blame and justifications, all those things there. And we're willing to say no more. I'm willing to lose this. I'm willing to let this go so I can know myself as joy, so I can know myself as acceptance, so I can know myself as possibility. And you find even there now, as you're listening and you're taking yourself there, you can feel the kicking and bucking and turning and churning and carrying on. Because it knows it's got to die. And this is part of our lower ego. It knows it has to let go the pain and suffering that it keeps us in. It keeps us there to try and keep us safe. But we are not safe there. We are in suffering. We are in a non-truth. And as we bring our attention to it, you allow your heart to open more and allow yourself to release the self-loathing. Just go there now, just allow yourself to let that self-loathing out. Anywhere that you say you should have done anything different is a form of criticism. Anywhere you're telling yourself you should have been better, taller, stronger, lighter, is a form of criticism. That you are criticizing yourself. You are trying to be competitive where you're putting it against something else. You're measuring. When you move into the place of acceptance and joy, that energy will release. That's it. This for some people, or for most people, will be quite big. And it's that the fear of abandonment. Because at least in the criticism, you feel that you are, well, you're used to something. But you are having to abandon that meanness, that way of treating yourself like crap. You have to abandon that. And it's something that we tend to grab onto when we feel abandoned by ourselves. We feel abandoned at the beginning by this criticism, and then we hang on to the criticism because we don't want to abandon that because we've already been abandoned once. And it takes courage to allow yourself to let that go. And as we let it go, we then turn and begin to walk towards the light. We begin to walk towards the truth. And you're going to find all your judgments, all your justifications, all your stories are going to come at you, and they're going to come at you hard. And all you need to do is know the truth. You just want to be the truth. I just want to be joy. I know I'm naturally joy. I know I'm naturally acceptance. I know I am the divine. And when we know ourselves as this, they will hit your field and they will collapse around you. They will fall at your feet. These justifications, this criticism, this abuse, self-abuse will fall away. And it's so sad to watch ourselves do it to ourselves. And it's so sad to watch others do it to themselves. And yet it's one of the most common things out there in the world. And this is where we're coming home. This is where we're remembering. We're coming back and we're slowing down and we're stopping. And we're realizing that we did not abandon ourselves. We were always there. We were always connected. And we're always worthy of love. That's it. And there. And just let the next level of hurt come pushing through. And just let it unravel. And as you allow it to unravel in you, that's it. If you find you have tears come, that is fine. It is the grieving of the beloved as you are returning to yourself. That's it. And you knew no different. And we just let this energy fall away. The suffering that you may have experienced through your life, just let it fall away. Don't buy into the story. Don't justify it. Justifying you're caught by criticism. And you just let it go. Just come to the healing place in the center. The knowingness of the love inside of yourself. You do not need to justify your presence or your purpose to anybody else but to yourself. And allow yourself to be that expression. That's it. As soon as you find yourself in a conversation where you're trying to defend yourself, you're justifying. You feel that someone said something to you and you've taken it on as a criticism. You haven't seen the truth. The truth is they see it from where they're standing through their perspective of life, and they are just throwing energy out. Because you have a pain inside of you, you go to defend. It's the justification. And it is the energy of criticism or an opinion, but you take it as criticism. You take it coming in as an opinion, and you twist it and turn it to being criticizing yourself, or they're being critical. And we go into victim consciousness there. And then we go down. It's not uplifting, is it? How many times have you been criticized and felt uplifted? How many times do you criticize yourself and you think, damn, I feel good for doing that? It just naturally doesn't. It's pulling our legs out from under us, and it is making us smaller than what we really are. What we do here is we just acknowledge it. We go, wow, every time I criticize myself, I get caught in the lie. I abandon the truth that there is no separation, that everything is oneness. And every time that we do that, we just pull ourselves further and further away, and we go deeper and deeper inside ourselves. It's like we drive ourselves into the ground, never to be seen again. But the opportunity is here now for you to allow the light and allow yourself to become buoyant in yourself. That's it. Just let this energy just move up through you. That's it. And you look at those criticisms or those thoughts of unworthiness or not good enough and things like that. And you just see where you were folded in, and you just allow yourself to pop back out. That's it. You just, that's it. There you go. And allow that to push up out through you and allow yourself to expand. Allow yourself to move into the light of who you truly are. Whew. And it's not being bigger, it's just that you've been pushed down. And so you allow yourself to open up. There's an opening within inside of you, and all this energy just starts pushing out. It's like the beach ball comes up from under the ground, from under the water. And then you just allow it to open and allow all its stories out. And it's the acknowledgement of thyself, the acknowledgement of thy love inside of self, the joy, the knowingness, the acceptance, the serenity. Now, I want you to allow yourself to turn over and look at that criticism and that abandonment and thank it and bless it. And give yourself permission to let it go. The speed at which you do this will be up to you. Because the freedom that comes removes any roadblocks, any stories. So just allow yourself to be there. Look it straight in the eyes. Don't, if you want to get it out, you are caught by it. If you're telling it is wrong, you are caught by it. The only way to release it is through love. Love and light. If you're wanting to justify it, you are caught by it. You're feeding it. It is the, then it collapses in on itself. That's it. That's it. Go a little deeper. Go into that hurt inside of your heart where it's tender and there's scar tissue there from all the times and places where you've been defending yourself. Let the anger rise. Do not stop it. Let it rise through you. And just let it run through and watch it go running off down the road. It'll run out of energy soon enough. You are not abandoned. You are oneness. That's it. Let it come. There's another wave coming up. Just let it push through you. We're going to go deeper into this. That's it. Just allowing it to open. A good practice that you may want to do is write down all the different ways that you criticize yourself or you criticize others so that you become really familiar with the energy of criticism so you know it. And then notice how you justify it. Either of those two, you are caught in that energy. And you allow it to unravel. There is an unraveling that happens. The justification releases. And you'll see the truth. The big you will rise. The big self will start to take its natural place in your domain. And then people's opinions or judgments or things will not hurt you the same because you do not carry this energy and it will just pass through you. And some things that used to sting before, you will notice that they just pass through. They don't get caught anymore because you've allowed yourself to come back home. You've allowed yourself to take up resonance in your being, in your wholeness. That's it. The key to knowing yourself here is finding the acceptance and joy within, the caring for yourself, staying true with the self, and just sitting in that place. And one of the ways things that will happen is you may find you become quiet. You don't have a lot to say. You just sit in the vibration. You may find you're struggling with it in that vibration. It's kicking and bucking and carrying on. You just sit with the energy of the light. You allow it to work its way up. As it works its way through, you just thank it and bless it and allow it to go on its little merry way. And there may be a sadness because it's been a good friend. It's helped you grow. It's helped you fight. It's helped you be competitive. It's helped you struggle. But as you become more back into the knowingness of yourself, you can let these old behaviors go. Because it's a habit. It's a habit that you have. A habit of being critical of yourself. And as you clean it out, I will warn you up front, you will be tested to see whether you've got it. You will get someone who will come along and they will do something. And they will put it in your face. And if you get caught, it's got work to do. But if you get caught, notice how quick you catch yourself and let it go. It's just, got me. Oh, I surrender, I let go. And you come back to that center place inside of yourself. And you sit in the resonance there of the joy and the acceptance within. You go about your day a little bit more, and bang, you get caught again. Nope, still getting caught. You just keep doing the practice with a willingness and asking the divine to help you with the willingness to release this internal criticism, this abandonment of yourself. Forgive yourself for abandoning yourself. Forgive yourself for hanging on to criticism and being critical of yourself and of others to protect your wound. Because we're critical of ourselves, just helps stop us living our magnificence. There you go. There you go. Just let that run through. That's it. Just let the energy run through. Let it cut its pathway through. There you go. And as you're allowing that to be released on all levels, lifetimes, and bodies, allowing it to be released on the emotional body, on the mental body, on the cosmic body, on the causal plane, on the morphic plane, allowing the energy to release on all levels, allowing yourself to release it generational through where your parents may have been critical, or their parents may have been critical, right down into your children where they're critical of themselves. Yeah. And just let all that sadness just wash through, all that abandonment just washing through, and releasing it on all the levels, knowing yourself as the light. Thanks. Just keep washing it through. There's quite a lot washing through here, guys. I know this seems a bit heavy one today. We're just going to let this energy wash through. I'm just going to stay with you and let it flood through, but just asking them to turn the light up, the joy through you. Because there is the energy of loss here that also plays out, and that's a biggie. That's a biggie. And just letting it go as you're healing yourself and coming into this light and love. Be gentle with yourself. Everywhere you've felt criticized, everywhere you've criticized yourself. Yeah, it's quite a lot of hornet's nest in there, ain't it? You just keep letting it come out. It's the gift that just keeps giving. Just let it come out. There you go. That's it. Just let the light and then let the willingness, your love, your divine love, just come in. You've got this. You've got it. Allow yourself to step into that light. We just let this move through. Just let this energy move through. The more you do it, the easier it gets, the clearer it gets. Good. That's the way. Allow yourself to open up your crown some more, let some more serenity down through, some more joy, love. Just flushing it through your field. Good. That's it. Just keep opening up. We're going to hit it again. Just allow them to hit it again with the light. That's it. As you hit it with the light, you may notice more areas where you are holding yourself separate. Just invite them to come back into the truth, into the wholeness. That's it. Allowing the abandonment to release. Allow that to come back into the wholeness. Good. Just allow yourself to go into that deepening. Beautiful. Allow it to step into the acknowledgement of self. What you'll do is you'll start balancing, you'll find the disturbance will start setting down, and then you'll just come into this calmness will come. As you move into that calmness, you just sit with it and it will deepen. And just, there may be chaos on the outside, but calmness is inside. Just stay with the calmness. Allow it to continually keep expanding. That's where the joy is. That's where the knowingness is. There you go. There, just breathe through that. There you go. Good. And just allow that to connect it on the levels, lifetimes, and bodies, please. Thank you. Okay, guys. Just be gentle with yourself with this one today. Allow yourself to keep coming back and flushing yourself out, coming back and centering yourself in the heart and just sitting in the energy of love. And we're just going to keep deepening that. Okay? Okay, so you take care, enjoy, and